I'm glad you could all make it here today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing these next 8 minutes of our lives together here in Rotterdam with me, little old me. My name is on the screen, Neusa Nena Gomes. I'm going to have a little talk about willpower. Because in my opinion, anyone, anywhere, could stand in the deepest of valleys, make themselves bigger than life, and still be able to reach the top of the mountain by fingertips. That's my story. The first time I truly ever felt a connection with anyone was with Oom Willem. Oom Willem was an elder Caucasian man who lived in Rotterdam. My father was a sailor, my mother was a cleaning lady, and he took our whole family up into his house. There, he noticed something strange. My father would always take my oldest sister away to Amsterdam to go and visit our brother. He never took me along because, why? I had the wrong color. I came out brown, looking like my mother, and my dad, a Portuguese, Cape Verdean looking man, was a little lighter and brighter than I was. His son, living in Amsterdam, also had that same color. For the shame, I don't know for what reason, I was left behind. But Uncle Will sat me down, gave me a pen, and taught me the art of the word. He taught me how to write at the age of 3. I knew how to write before I could ever read. To me, they were all drawings. But I would steadily look at his hand and copy whatever it is that he did. And he also showed me love. He was the first person to look at me with love in his eyes. He bestowed also this gift on me. I learned how to write. Fast forward, 1983, February 17, Uncle Will was taken away from me. He passed away. Every morning I would go downstairs looking for Uncle Will, where he usually would be ready, sitting, waiting for me with his tea until the rest of the house was awake. 2 police officers standing by his bedroom door and 1 crowbar. The door goes open, and I see Uncle Will lying there on his back, positioned with 1 red line falling from his nose down to his cheek. He was dead. He was frozen, disconnected. And I still today stand there at that very door, looking back at him, at my true father, with no place to go. February 18, 1983, we moved from that house. February 19, 1983, my baby sister was born. That's 3 days. Uncle Willem passed away, we moved from house, and my baby sister was born. That meant that I was no longer the youngest. I was no longer the youngest. I was being looked over. Nobody told me about what happened to Uncle Will. Nobody told me about the new house. Nobody told me anything. I did what I could do best. I started writing. I wanted him to be with me still, so I picked up a pen, a notepad, and I wrote. Whatever it was, I could write. I kept on doing that. And every time I wrote down a word, that word was self-love for me. That word was Uncle Will looking down at me. My childhood was not a nice one, although I did grow up to be a nice person. I was kicked out of the house at 17. Again, I was replaced by another baby in the house, so my time was up. I stopped school, started work, did everything for myself. I paid the rent, I worked hard, made my 40 hours a week, and worked, and I got disconnected because I was sick every month. I found a new job, then I got disconnected because I called in sick again. Found me a new job, then I got disconnected because I got sick again. This went on for about 21 years, and when I reached the age of 30, back in 2008, you can do the calculations for yourself, I suffered a stroke at the office. No more speech for Neusa. No more writing for Neusa. No more doing this, anything for Neusa. Neusa was state of disconnect. Landed me in a hospital. And in the hospital, they didn't even know what to do with me. I was 30, too young to even suffer a stroke, but I was not gonna have it. I was not gonna spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair after everything I had been through. Every lesson I had learned was love yourself, choose for yourself, be there for you. It doesn't matter whoever throws you away, you don't get to throw yourself away. I wasn't gonna go sit in the wheelchair. I walked around that hospital for 2 weeks, cussing and cursing and fighting, cussing and cursing and fighting and trying to sing, trying to win back my power of speech. After 3 weeks, it returned. Within 2 months' time, I started back at work, reintegrating. Within 4 months' time, I was doing 40 hours every week, as people were expecting for me to do. I'm 39 years old today. I will be 40 next year. Look at me. I've suffered a stroke. But I am still Neusa. Everything that you see, my blood, is still the thing I love because it's inside of me. Every word I write is inside of me. It writes love for self. I'm a teacher also. When I returned to the back to being in 2014, I binge-watched the TED Talks. Then I watched Lisa Nichols talk about a Tonka truck. I was like, that's me. I'm that Tonka truck Lisa Nichols is talking about. You can throw me away, I'll just come right back. You can fire me, I'll find another job. Lose my house, I'll get a new one tomorrow. Because I'm always looking out for me. And I want you all here in the audience, from this day, this minute, to do the same. Every minute, choose for you. Choose you because you are important, like I was important. The whole world can throw you away, but if you have the world in your heart, and you become it, nothing can bother you. Nothing can touch you. And you can still stand in the deepest of the valleys. Oh, really? I don't think so. You can stand in the deepest of the valleys and still reach the top of the mountain with your fingertips. Thank you all for sharing these 8 minutes.